The third level of the physical education building finally got its concrete slab floor today. Two photos show the start of the pour just as soon as things got going, and the end of the pour about 1 p.m. Several workmen were involved, both in preparation and in finishing. It is now apparent that the stairwell on the south side of the phys ed building will be at least partially outside. Handrails were being installed today. See the third photo. An excavator and double dump trucks removed dirt from the garage front gate area and headed out the front gate. A small amount of yellow insulation, not Tyvek, was added to the outside wall. One of the first things that we saw this morning was a group of men walking south on the bus lanes toward the turnaround. Sitting there was a small drill waiting to be removed from its trailer packaging. Nothing seemed to be happening, and we had high priority things to do this morning, including an astronomy by Zoom class. When we looked for it about noon, it was gone. The first photo shows this. The other new event was the framing of another small enclosure for HVAC or such, this time on the lower roof of the phys ed building. The second photo shows the start of framing for the structure. The Omega Morgan crane makes a long stretch to lift the beams into place. I hope that I mentioned before about how the construction information comes together and gets to you. It's teamwork. This evening, there are 3 contributors to this log. Patty Fuqua took the photo of the excavation work on the corner between Talus Drive and Falcon Way. She says to look for the old retaining wall where they are digging. Don Ryder took several photos, some of which will appear in later emails. The shot of the street paving is his. I believe Lynn took the picture of the phys ed structure, or maybe I did. This shows the construction of the 5th and last housing for the HVAC equipment above the gym. Again, the long, tall Omega Jane crane, not in the picture, was in action today, lifting the framing beams for the previously mentioned HVAC equipment area. Note in the photo the additional yellow outside wall insulation. Not much change from yesterday, at least not much change in appearance. One tiny difference is in the roof edge on the east side of the classrooms. The first photo is marked with something to indicate where the unknown beam extensions are and to call for their purpose. The second photo was taken by Don Ryder. It is very much like Patty Fuqua's, which was taken about the same time. Patty's was used in last evening's email. You will recognize the corner of Talus Drive and Falcon Way. The big event today, from where we stand, was the addition of an outside walkway on the south side of the classroom building. The photo shows this location by the gold line. Other happenings include an early morning pour in the southeast corner of the classroom building, drilling to make a retaining wall between the car lanes and the field, another layer of yellow GP insulation on top of the existing layers. About the only thing that we could see happening today was the removal and stacking of the forms or false work from the outside of the big curved retaining wall on the south edge of the property line. The first photo shows this task. So, in order to offer something more interesting, I have gone back to last April. The photo was the result of a call from Sigrid Llewellyn, who, as I remember, saw the 2 deer first. It was about this time that fencing was being installed all around the construction site. The 2 workers on the green scissor lift are measuring and marking the yellow GP glass insulation, which are also known as glass mat gypsum sheathing. Multiple layers are added as required. See the high-res photo. Additional pickets, or maybe louvers, were added to the railing around the edge of the west wing roof of the classroom building. Still more GP fiberglass insulation was added. See the photo. Meanwhile, in the area of the new garage, yesterday they put shotcrete on the new ironwork extending the north garage retaining wall. Also, we have some new windows on the west side of the main building. See Patty Fuqua's photo. There are several different jobs going on today. A manhole was added at the southeast corner of the phys ed building. A cat excavator was removing dirt from the east upper drive and transferring it into the dump truck. See the first photo. The Omega Morgan crane was busy picking up plastic covered packages on the Talus Drive side and lifting it up over the retaining wall edge and placing them all onto a pile. A trench was being dug along the building. The second photo shows these activities. The outside walkway on the phys ed building now has a floor of the sheet metal. I'm sure it will eventually be covered with concrete Alapan decking. See the third photo. All this and no mention of a pour somewhere on the north end of the classroom building. Tomorrow we'll show Patty's photo of the new garage goings on. As promised, here's Patty Fuquay's photo of the work on the north end Tuesday. She says, looking from the main construction gate, number 2 on Talus Drive, you can see the west retaining wall of the garage. You can see the underpinnings of the large office building. Glad I don't work there. Both of the other 2 photos are the unloading of 2 flatbeds. The handler seems to be the correct vehicle for the job. There are beams, cabinetry, wall panels, and lockers, possibly. Much of the new hardware was unloaded to the first available spot and later moved to where a big crane could get at them to be moved up or into their permanent location. Tomorrow, Omega Morgan, the big crane, may be back. Will we see much snow? The answer to yesterday's question is plenums. That answer came from John Gelston. The question was, what were they unloading from the flatbeds? Plenums are a kind of ducting for HVAC. You may want to Google a better answer than that. Any doubt as to what they are was gone when they were lifted into the HVAC structures on top of the roof. See the photo. Before this happened, just the one crane was lifting beams to be fastened to the laminated wood beams in the play area. That is the second photo. The last picture is of the dueling cranes. Not really. They are both being used to lower more plenums into their rooftop housing. It looks so peaceful.